All right, we'll call meeting to order. The invocation, Ms. Proctor, would you be so kind as to lead us in invocation this evening?
Wake me up in the middle of the night, I can do anything. Pray, I can pray. Most gracious God, we just thank you for another opportunity to come together under the banner of the city of Crowley to help this community be all that it can be. We thank you for the mayor, we thank you for the councilmen and councilwomen. We thank you even for the citizens who are here, the stakeholders and the legacy makers. God, we pray that you would guide our thoughts and our minds as we deliberate here and collaborate. We thank you over and over again because you are so wonderful in our lives. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Amen. Pledge of Allegiance, Chief Abel.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Chuck Ashby. Katie Shazon. Brad Core.
Present.
Jeff Dorey.
Here.
Dickie Lashley.
Here.
Vernon Martin.
Here.
Sandy Marks.
Here.
Sammy Reddy.
Here.
Byron Wildridge.
Here.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll recess the council meeting and open the public hearing. Mr. Land.
So we're opening a public hearing on the condemnation of property owned by Jason Montz, located at 917 Ross Avenue, which legal description is Lot 8 and the east 50 feet of Lot 9 and 10, Block 2, Crowley Edition. Is Mr. Dillon here? Tony? Mr. Montz here.
This is. So.
Wait, the record of the proceeding shows that Mr. Montz issued a written response. To our knowledge, no action has been taken to repair or demolish the structure. We have a written report in the record from Mr. Dumont, the city inspector, showing that the property is in a dilapidated and dangerous condition and endangers public welfare. So I think there's the vote of the council was made already. The photos of the property we showed to the council already. So I think based on the evidence that appears in the record and Mr. Montz's lack of response today, that there's sufficient evidence to condemn the property. So recess the public hearing and call for vote.
Yes, sir, Mayor, we have the, ordinance to amend and reenact section 4.7 and 4.14 of Article 1, Chapter 4 of the Code of Ordinances to require owners of animals running at large are responsible for the removal of animal excrement from public or private property, to require owners of animals under direct physical or control, direct or physical control of the owner are responsible for the removal of animal excrement from public or private property, provide for rebuttable presumption, to provide for penalties therefore, enhancement of penalties for the first offense, to provide for the penalties and for violations thereof, to provide to repeal all ordinances, parts of ordinances contrary thereto or in conflict herewith, and to provide for the provisions hereof to be settled. First call for the proponents of the ordinance. Anyone wishing to come forward and speak in favor of the ordinance? This time, first call, come to the microphone, please, state your name and address. Second call for the proponents. Third and final call for the proponents of this ordinance. Anyone else wishing to speak against the ordinance this time? The first call for the opponents. Second call for the opponents. Anyone wishing to speak, come forward at this time to the podium. Third and final call. There be no one coming forward at this time there, as to close this hearing.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll open the council meeting again, reconvene. There's nothing on the appearances, but I want to give Ms. Proctor an opportunity to speak about her back-to-school seminar, if you will.
To our honorable mayor, most efficient councilmen and women, and certainly all the stakeholders of the city of Crowley. Thank you, Mayor, for this opportunity. It is not a secret that every year the National Association of University Women coordinate and plan a back-to-school seminar and backpack filled with school supplies giveaway. And these are given to elementary, middle school, and high school students, with special emphasis on the high school students. This will be on Friday, August the 18th at 6 p.m. at the Martin Luther King Center Pavilion. And we will also give gift cards will be given away, and we will have tips for a successful school year that will be shared with our students by all of our partners in education. Well, I know the next question you would ask is, how do you become a partner in education with this project? And I'm so glad you asked that, because I want to tell you how. You will give $100 or more, and you can get it to me, write the check out to NAUW, and you can come on that particular day, which is a Friday, or if you don't want to come, you can send someone. And when we do the tips for a successful school year, then you will have an opportunity to share with our students from your experience how they can have a successful school year. We invite all of you to become partners in education. And in order for you to get your name on the program, you would need to see me real soon, because I can't do that last minute stuff, I'm sorry. And we're encouraging the parents to attend also with their children, with their students. And we do say some things to the parents that would be a benefit for them in helping their children to be successful for the school year. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you for being a stakeholder and a partner in this venture.
Thank you, Ms. Proctor, and thanks to the council for asking that important question. All right, approval of minutes of the regular council meeting held on June 14th.
Offer.
Any agenda amendments, I'm sorry. Okay, now the approval of minutes, I'm sorry. Offered by Alderman Martin, second by Alderman Wilridge. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Mayor's report, you'll see the sales tax, and sewer user fees. Sewer user fees are not a complete number yet. We did not get all of the figures and the checks in for that yet. So that's not a complete number at this point. But we did actually today get the final numbers for the sales taxes. And it's at 760,057. Last year at this time, it was 751,672. And as you can see, the chart that Mr. Mader provided gives you a picture of those numbers. Any questions or concerns?
Mayor, what was the user fee?
The user fee is not a complete number. We did not get all the checks yet for this month.
Okay, thank you.
All right, standing committee reports, Public Works, Alderman Doré.
Thank you, Mayor. Public Works Committee.
Microphone.
It's on.
Testing, no. Airphone. Testing.
The one that doesn't need to work.
This one was working. No, Tom, testing. Tom.
Yes, one, two.
Yeah.
Okay, Public Works Committee convened Wednesday, July 5th, 4 p.m. in the City Council chambers. The quorum was present. A motion was offered by Alderman Vernon Martin, seconded by Alderwoman Sandy Marks, to approve partial payment estimate number 19 to Glen Leger Construction LLC for the citywide street improvements contract A. Project amount of $44,546.35, and the motion carried.
Need a motion to approve that?
So move.
Offered by Alderwoman Marks, second by Alderman Core. Discussion? Mr. Reggie?
Mr. Mayor, what is I know we had talked about this a couple months ago, but there was a plan on how to fix some of the problems that were coming about, I guess, with the new road. Is there a plan in action yet? Because I haven't heard, like, if there's a crack in the road or for the new road.
Yeah, we've always intended to address that at final inspection, to get a final list of all such comments and concerns, and we'll address them after that.
And that's a standard procedure, right, to address it. Absolutely.
All right. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? One nay. Motion carries.
A motion was offered by Alderwoman Sandy Marks and seconded by Alderman Brad Core to approve partial payment estimate number 14 to Glen Leger Construction LLC for the citywide street improvements contract B. Project amount of $662,451.76. The motion carried.
Second.
I have you making a motion, Alderman Marks?
Well, the chair usually offers the motion, I mean, I'll be second, I'll make the motion, either way
Okay.
we go.
Have a motion from Alderman Martin,
Second.
second Alderwoman Marks. Discussion?
Just a point of order.
Yes.
Mayor. Sometimes there's confusion. But normally when we go through the regular meeting, the chair usually offers the motion. When
Yes, sir.
The chair usually offers.
The resolution did not, yeah.
It doesn't, The chair doesn't have to,
Yeah,
but
but I'm just saying, no,
Yeah.
that's the way.
Mr. Dorey has not said, and I so move, so
Okay, yeah.
there's no motion currently.
Right, but I'm just saying that's normally the procedure, but whatever way you want me to offer it, second, it doesn't matter, whatever you want.
From now on, I'll
Yes.
say not so moved.
Move the resolution.
And I'll
Now, he
second-
doesn't have to, okay, it's not required that he makes that motion.
No, but that's normally how we know.
That's right. All right, motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Okay, under non-action items, Public Works Director Albert John delivered his monthly report, and the city engineer Tim Maynard presented his monthly engineer's report. And with no further business,
The committee recess.
Thank you, sir. Utility Committee, Alderman Martin.
Thank you, sir. Utility Committee convened Wednesday, July 5th, 4 p.m. in council chambers. Quorum was present. On the action item, the motion was offered by Alderwoman Sandy Marks and seconded by Alderman Jeff Dorey to approve partial payment estimate number 5 to Crowley Services LLC for the convoluted replacement at the main pump station project in the amount of $47,328.52. Motion carried and I so moved.
second.
I have a motion by Alderman Martin, second by Alderman Dorey, discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
A motion was made by Alderwoman Sandy Marks and seconded by Alderman Jeff Dorey to approve change order number 3 under the contract with Crowley Services LLC for the convoluted replacement at the main pump station project in an additional amount of $33,150. And motion carried and I so moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Martin, second by Alderwoman Marks, discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion was made by Alderwoman Sandy Marks and seconded by Alderwoman, Katie Chasson, to adopt the resolution of termination of the contract with Crowley Services LLC for the convoluted replacement at the main pump station project. Motion carried and I so moved.
Okay, Mr. Martin, hold your motion for a second. We're gonna try this a different way so we don't go back to the resolutions. I'm gonna read this resolution. It's a resolution authorizing, where am I? I gotta find it. Right here. A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor to execute for, on, and behalf of the city of Crowley, a notice of termination for Atelier Services LLC contractor pertaining to the completion of the contract for commuter replacement at main pump station in accordance with the plans and specifications contained in the contract documents pertaining thereto. If we can get a motion to move as read,
Offer this read.
to authorize as read. There you go.
Second.
All right. Offered by Alderman Martin, second by Alderman Lockley. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion was made by Alderwoman Sandy Marks and seconded by Alderman Jeff Dorey to approve partial payment estimate number 12 to NCMC LLC for rehabilitation of the sewer collection system project in the amount of $95,130.49. Motion carried and I also.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Martin, second by Alderwoman Marks. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
See, under non-action items, wastewater superintendent Tim Crater presented the monthly wastewater report. City engineer Tim Maynard presented the monthly engineering report. There was nothing further to come before the utility committee recess.
Thank you, sir. Recreation Committee, let's see, Alderman Lockley.
The Recreation Committee.
The Recreation Committee convened Wednesday, July 5th at 4 p.m. in the council chambers. The quorum was present. A motion was offered by Alderman Jeff Dorey and seconded by Alderman Dickie Lockley to approve partial payment for the restroom construction at the Tony Robichaud Sports Complex for the amount of $107,895.63. Motion carried, I so move.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Lutchler, second by Alderman Dorey, I'm sorry. Gotta put an E on the end of that one. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Finished.
Okay, all right. There was, cast out in the way, I'm sorry about that. Okay, the Recreation Director, Peter Kirsch, presented the monthly Recreation Department report. City Engineer Tim Mader presented the monthly engineer's report. There was no further business to come before the Recreation Committee. The committee recessed.
Thank you, sir. Zoning annexation, Alderman Reggie.
Yeah, I had to find it and pass it down to him.
The Zoning and Annexation Committee convened Wednesday, July 5th, 2023, at 4 p.m. in the council chambers. A quorum was present. Under action items, there were none. Under non-action items, there were none, and there was no further business come before Zoning and Annexation Committee, and the committee recessed.
Thank you, Mr. Reggie. Okay, public safety, Alderman Core.
Thank you, Mayor. The Public Safety Committee convened Wednesday, July 5th, 2023, at 4 p.m. in the council chambers, and the quorum was present. Under action items, Alderman Brad Corpus proposed to amend the agenda to include the action item of a beer and liquor license for Vapor Kings located at 2010 North Parkinson Avenue. It was seconded by Alderman Jeff Doyle, and the motion carried. The motion was made by Alderman Brad Cord and seconded by Alderman Jeff Dorey to approve beer and liquor license permits for a Family Dollar store located at 415 Southeastern Avenue, contingent on possible past violations. The motion carried, and I so move.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the liquor license for Vapor Kings, Family Dollar store located at 415 Southeastern. Just to update, we need a second, I'm sorry.
I'll second.
Okay, second by Mr. Alderman Wildridge. I did check with the chief and also with Brandy. That's a new license. They did not have one before at that store.
Is that the same one that we had discussions on?
Last week, yes, yes.
Because I knew something was going on.
Yeah, it's not a renewal or a late renewal, it's a new. Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We need to, okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
A motion was made by Alderman Brad Cord and seconded by Alderman Jeff Dorey to approve beer and liquor license permits for Vapor Kings located at 2010 North Parkinson Avenue. The motion carried, and I so move.
We have a motion. Second by Alderman, motion by Alderman Core, second by Alderman Martin. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Under non-action items, Chief of Police Troy Hebert presented the monthly police department report. Mayor Chad Monso presented the monthly fire department report in the absence of Fire Chief Louis Romero. City Inspector Tony Duhon was not present. His report was read by Alderman Brad Cord. There was no further action to come before the Public Safety Committee, and the committee recessed.
Thank you, sir. Let's see, public buildings, Alderman Wildridge.
Public Buildings Committee convened Wednesday, July 5th at 4 p.m. in the council chambers. There was a quorum. On the action items, a motion was made by Alderman Dick Leger and seconded by Alderman Jeff Dorey to renew the building lease for 6 agency. Alderman Byron Wilson abstained from the vote. The motion carried, and I so move.
Same.
We have a motion. Mr. Byron, you can't move on that.
I know.
Okay. We need a motion to renew the lease.
I'll go ahead and make the motion.
Yeah, it's a full council. So offered by Alderman Martin, second by Alderman Lachele. Discussion. So if you look at the terms of the new lease, it is a month-to-month lease. It is the same price, everything's the same except it's not for an annual lease, it's for month to month. I did meet with the assist agency and they checked with the state and that's okay for that to happen with the state situation also. We are trying to work with the assist agency. The past few days I've been making many phone calls and trying to find another location for them to locate. I met with a local realtor here in the city this afternoon for some other options, and we're also looking at other options for the Louisiana workforce and Smile, who is also in that building. Obviously, some of the challenges are the amount that they're currently paying is much less than anyone else is willing to go for, so they may have to find something that's a little more costly, but also the space that they're requesting is going to be hard to find, especially at that cost. So we are working with them, very diligently working with them to try and find some options. And they are also, Mr. Carey, I've spoken and met with him, and they've been working on, if you want to say something, Mr. Carey?
Yeah, I got a
If
question.
you have any questions.
No, yeah.
Mr. Marks got a question.
Any questions? You have a question, Mr. Martin?
Yeah, okay, so you and the executive director, Sharon, Ms. Clement, y'all got together and y'all understand how this is working now?
Yes,
CSBG ain't had no problem.
correct. You can't go longer than a one-year lease, but we can go shorter, go 6 months, but we go month to month.
Okay, and the other situation, a while back, someone had brought up the old social security building.
On
First Street.
First and H, yeah.
We contacted the son-in-law of the owner of the building, they're up in Leesville, Mr. Sarver. And he was gonna talk to his father-in-law, and he's not gotten back. I've tried a couple of times and haven't been able to get a hold of him, but we're still working on that also.
I've also called and left a message on the number that I had for them, and no answer back yet.
Okay, well, that's one building right there. I think if we're gonna do anything as a city as a whole, buying that building might be a good thing. If we can get the terms and conditions to where we need it, I think that'd be an ideal building, especially with parking and the location.
Yes.
So we might want to look into it.
Any other questions, discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Let's do this, let's get a motion to adopt the resolution of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Crowley, Katy Parish, Louisiana, authorizing a lease to the Assist Agency for office space in the Crowley Enterprise Center located at 11 North Parkinson Avenue, Crowley, Louisiana, to provide for the terms and conditions thereof, and to provide for all matters relative thereto. And a motion to approve the resolution as read.
Second.
Offered by Alderwoman Marks, second by Alderman Martin. Discussion, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We took care of that resolution too. All right, Mr. Corr, start with that.
A motion was made by me, second by Dick.
Mr. Wilridge.
Authorize the use of the MAK and waive cleanup fee for Homeland Civic and Social Organization. Motion carried, none so moved.
Second. Yes, so this is for a for the city to co-sponsor that event. Offered by Alderman Wilridge, second by Alderman Corr. Discussion. Yes.
Did we get the necessary paperwork verifying the?
I have not, and I need a good contact for them. I need a good contact number for them. Okay. Yes, and we got something else that we need to make.
I didn't want to overstep, I wanted to make sure that Byron, since that's his committee, that he would handle.
Yes, sir, thank you.
And you got one extension, being a member of Homeland.
Okay,
And myself.
all right. All in favor? Opposed? One abstention, by Alderman Martin.
On the non-action items, Mayor Chadman also gave pictures of the MAK bathroom to each alderman, discussing ensure about the bathroom being damaged, toilet paper, and trash being thrown about. Ms. Jeanette Shepherd and the Homeland Cities and Social Organization spoke about having an event for the organization in Crowley for 21 years. People coming from California, Houston for this event. There was no further business coming before Public Buildings Committee, so we recess.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Woolridge. Okay, Insurance and Personnel Committee, Alderwoman Marks.
Thank you, Mayor. The Insurance and Personnel Committee convened Wednesday, July the 5th, 2023, at 4 p.m. in the council chambers. A quorum was present. At that time, there were no action items, there were no non-action items, there was no further action to come before the Insurance and Personnel Committee, and the committee recessed.
Thank you, ma'am. Community and Economic Development, Alderwoman Chesson.
Thank you, Mayor. The Community and Economic Development Committee convened Wednesday, July 5th, 2023, 4 p.m. in the council chambers. A quorum was present. There were no action items. Under non-action items, Alderwoman Katie Chasson spoke about the great turnout of citizens that attended the Red, Rice, and Blue July 4th celebration and spoke of upcoming events in the city of Crowley. Alderwoman Chasson introduced Darlene Thibodeau, president of Main Street Crowley. Darlene Thibodeau introduced Amber Thibodeau and Hank Capel, who are the new Main Street directors. Mrs. Thibodeau then told everyone about the upcoming events that Main Street will be hosting. Mayor Monzo recognized the sponsors of the Red, Rice, and Blue celebration and thanked everyone who helped with this event. There was no further action to come before the Community and Economic Development Committee. The committee recessed.
Thank you, ma'am. Revenue and Finance, Alderman Lochley.
Thank you, Mayor. The Revenue and Finance Committee convened Wednesday, July 5th at 4 p.m. in the council chambers. A quorum was present. We had no action items. Under the non-action items, Chris Hughes asked the mayor if he can give an update of the budget for finance. Mayor Monso told him that the current budget will be adopted as a new budget for this year. Then once the audit is complete, the budget will be amended. Kim Stringfellow asked if the city will have audit findings because of this audit process. The mayor's response was yes. There was no further business to come before the Revenue Finance Committee. The committee recessed.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, so in reference to the new budget, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to have a special meeting. We'll probably do that next week to introduce a resolution. Because we have to, we have to introduce a resolution to call for a public hearing, and that needs to be done at next month's meeting, the public hearing. And then, of course, we need to vote to approve the budget at next month's meeting so that it can go into effect September 1. You all were emailed the updated version of the, basically the current budget that will become the proposed budget until we get auditing finished and all that good stuff. Then we'll have to amend it with basically a new budget. So we'll send notice out and call for a special meeting Monday next week so that we can introduce a resolution to call for a public hearing on the August council meeting and then vote on it then.
Mayor, do you need a motion now?
No, ma'am. No.
Okay.
I'll call for it. We'll send out the notices for the special meeting. All right, ordinances?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Pertaining to the budget. Okay, so you will have a balanced budget before the fiscal year ends?
No,
So you'll be going on 50%?
no.
Like it is?
We are, what we're asking for is that the council adopt the current budget as the new budget.
But you can only do 50%?
No. If those numbers that you see right there
Right,
are the proposed 23-24 budget.
okay,
It's the same numbers as the 22-23 budget,
okay.
okay? But it is the proposed 23-24 budget. We have to do that so that we don't have to operate at 50% because the audit is not complete and the CPA is not finished with updating the records. So what'll happen is we'll have a special meeting next week, Monday next week. We will introduce a resolution to call for a public hearing on August 9th. And then the public hearing will happen August 9th. The council will vote either to approve or not approve the proposed budget, which everybody has seen the numbers for the past year. And then we'll be able to move forward, not at 50% if we do that. And then once all the numbers are done right, then we will, the correct term is amend the budget, but we will present a new budget, basically. But that new budget that's going to be presented will be an amendment to that.
But you'll be presenting the same thing?
No.
What you gonna present?
Next month, we will be presenting the same thing. But in hopefully September, October, we can present an amended budget, which would be the budget we go through forward. Because we're not finished with the audit, and the records are not finished being entered, and that can't be finished until the audit's finished.
Right.
Yeah, that's the deck of cards we were dealt, and so we have to play with them. And so, it's not ideal, it's definitely not what I want to do. We will have findings in the next audit because of what we're going through now. But for us to be able to continue to operate and not be at 50%, we need to adopt the proposed budget. But that proposed budget is the exact same as the current budget.
So the legislative auditors wouldn't have any problem with it?
No, sir.
That's the main thing. Okay, I'm good. Just say that.
Technically, they'll have a problem, we'll get a finding.
We'll get a
But
finding.
they understand what the situation is, and we've already spoken to them about this. We heard last year, we told them, we're having trouble with computer systems being merged, changed over, and they understand all that because the state's going through the same thing in a lot of their agencies.
Good enough.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, ordinances,
Ordinance to amend and reenact ordinance an ordinance to amend and reenact 4-7, section 4-14, Article 1, Chapter 4 of the Code of Ordinances, to require the owners of animals running at large are responsible for removal of animal excrement from public and private property, to require owners of animals under the direct and physical control of the owner are responsible for the removal of animal excrement from public and private property to provide for a rebuttal presumption, to provide for penalties therefore, to provide for the first offense via warning, to provide for enhanced penalties after the first offense, and to provide for all penalties for other violations thereof, and to repeal ordinances, parts of ordinances contrary thereto and conflict herewith. That is the correct one.
I need a motion. Motion by Alderman Core, second by Alderwoman Marks. Discussion?
Yes, I have some, Mayor, I have some discussion. I know we had talked about that it was going to be confined to parks versus private property.
But the language is that, but we have the private property because of the outside the park area there along the park area. You know, so
Okay, so
the revised ordinance, I think we talked about that, and that revised language I thought was satisfactory.
Okay, so that was the intent. I can see that. The other thing was that in 414, item E, under imprisonment for not more than 15 days.
That's removed, it's only in 4-7, we have that, in 4-7, the name's the same, 4-14, there is no imprisonment.
Okay, so, because we thought it was
Until-
hard and not reasonably enforceable.
Yes, and I think the chief echoed that sentiment, that correctly.
Okay, and then, provided that this passes it, and it looks better than what we had before. Thank you so much for doing this. But I've been requested by several animal owners that this be signage of the fines and penalties be posted in all parks.
That'll be an administrative.
Yeah,
Yes,
an administrative.
Yeah, once this passes, and we can't put signs before it passes.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
There's one in Levy Park right now, but you can't read it, so I'm just saying.
Sure, we'll come up with some signage that we can put there.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, John. Committee.
In each park, yes, ma'am. Any more discussion? Yes, ma'am.
I know we talked about this, just please
Speak
refresh
to your
my
microphone, son.
It's on.
It's on, but it's not working.
I swear I tested each and every microphone before anybody got anything out, and they all work.
Right now,
It's not.
Okay,
So the question is, how is this going to be enforced? Did we talk about that? Enforcement for this?
yeah, we talked about it.
somebody's gonna have to see it, and be able to prove it. They have to give a report to the officers. If the officers don't see it,
Yes.
it'll be hard to prove. But somebody can take a video and call the police, and they can make a report, make a complaint, and that would be handled by the city prosecutor.
And so it's basically like littering. Enforcing littering is tough, which is why we have a lot of littering. But hopefully this will, if nothing else, bring awareness to the issue and help with the problem through awareness, if nothing else. I think a lot of laws in that fashion are truly for awareness, just to make the public aware that these things are not right. And then, of course, you have the option to enforce them, and then you have the fines and everything attached to them. But it's tough. It's going to be tough to enforce it, but I think the awareness of it is really going to pay off.
Mayor, if I could just reiterate that, we met several rescue people, and thank you so much for all that you all do. In developing some fundraisers and educational programs, I'm presently in contact with Julia Grove, who is Regional Director of Humane Society, to see if we can bring that to our community.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
So we don't have to put anybody in jail.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Resolutions, there are a couple of resolutions that were not in committees. Oh, yeah, we need a roll call vote for that. My apologies. I didn't vote. Roll call, sir.
Katie Chesson, Brad Court,
Yes.
Jeff Dorey,
Yes.
Deke Latchley,
Yes.
Vernon Martin.
I will vote for it. I got a question. After the vote.
Sandy Marks,
Yes.
Sammy Ready,
Yes.
Byron Woodridge.
Yes.
7 yeas, 1 abstain, motion carries. The ordinance passes. Mr. Martin?
Okay, explain to me again, Tom, with the private property inside the resolution. Why don't we put private property into it?
Because first, you got two separate, sections, 4-7, 4-14. 414, and it won't stay on. I'm not sure what's going on there. 4-14 is the nuisance section. That is not gonna do, no deal done, and it will only apply to the parks, on the public property. The, areas, now, under 4-7 is running, at large, animals running at large. Whether on public or private property, somebody's got an animal running at large, and it leaves a deposit there, you're still responsible to go get that. Because you're gonna know about it, because we're gonna catch the animal that's running at large, obviously. If we don't catch the animal, not much we can do, but if you get caught in that one, you get prosecuted for both charges.
So basically just amend the two together and came up with one.
Well, we can't, it's gotta be separate, we decided to separate it. Mike and I discussed it quite extensively, we feel like it's probably the bestest way to make it clear that we're not trying to put people in jail in the parks. We prefer them not to leave the excrement, if the dog steps off the sidewalk across the street from the park and goes into somebody's yard. Somebody who's responsible, I think, is going to pick that up. The irresponsible owner will not. But then, today with cameras and ring doorbells and all that stuff, somebody might just happen to be recorded as having allowed their pet to do something like that.
So basically what you're saying is that it's letting the public know that even though you might be at the city park, you're saying one of the parks, that dog run across the street on somebody else's property, you still,
It's a moral obligation, I think we're saying, you need to do this,
I got you. I was just concerned about having the public and private in the same way. Thank you.
Mr. Reggie?
So along with the signs you're gonna put in the parks, you're gonna put the little bags or whatever too?
Yes, sir. One of the residents around Levy Park, has already added that quite some time back. He actually added some small signs on a post and a little holder with rolls of bags, to be used by the public. And there's 2 of them. There's one on the south side of the park. There's one on the north side of the park. That was a private citizen who did that. For Levy Park. Levy Park is used by many people from every corner of this city. And a lot of dogs are walked out there. And so this particular citizen was outside one day and had a kid playing in the park, and the kid slipped and fell in an area that was not picked up. And so this resident was able to help the parent and clean up the kid at his house. So that started back then whenever he was in that situation. And so he put those signs and bags out there. But yes, there are plans for the city to put signage and have these boxes with the bags available for the people to use. Many people actually have already started, and the word has kind of gotten around as kind of the awareness part of it. And a lot of people actually carry the bags with them now on their leash. They make little packs that go on the leash and stuff. So the awareness has already began, basically. With it, so. Okay, resolutions. Resolution of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Crowley, Katy Parish, Louisiana, fixing and levying the millage on the 2023 tax roll on all properties subject to taxation by the City of Crowley, and to provide for all matters relative thereto and in connection therewith. Need a motion for that resolution. I have a motion from Alderman Core, second Alderwoman Marks. Discussion? It's just the same as last year, yes. Yes. Roll call.
Katie Chesson,
Yes.
Brad Cord,
Yes.
Jeff Dorey,
Yes.
Dickie Lashley,
Yes.
Vernon Martin,
Yes.
Sandy Marks,
Yes.
Sammy Reddy,
Yes.
Byron Wilridge.
Yes.
8 yeas. Resolution passes. Next one is a resolution authorizing the mayor to hire an architect for planning and construction of the city pavilion. I need a motion offering that.
So moved.
Offered by Alderman Martin, second by Alderwoman Chasson. Discussion? Yes, sir.
Didn't they already have some plans? I've seen some plans probably about 3 or 4 years ago. Is that the same plans? Or?
There are, I was able to obtain the proposed plans, I guess, what you would say current plans. It was for a different location that is no longer available. I think we can build upon that, those plans, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So just so that you know, and I think I've told you all, but the funding for this pavilion is final. It is, we do have the funding for it. We need to move forward with it pretty quickly, which is why we're trying to work with the assist agency, Louisiana Workforce and whatnot. The plans would be to build this pavilion in the location of the Enterprise Center. For many, many years, mayors and council members have tried to get rid of that building, oftentimes, and the building, again, without beating a dead horse, but the building costs the city money each and every month. It needs a lot of work. In reference to the historic district, it is an intrusion into the historic district. It is not considered a historic building since the renovations happened some 25 or so years ago. So it would take another 25 or so years for it to become historic again. So there's no historic value to the building. Plans need to happen and things need to take place really quickly. I'd like to try and start the process of getting rid of the building, as in demolishing the building, by the end of the year, which is why we've been working with as many people as possible to try and find a place for the assist agency and Louisiana Workforce. Because if we don't use the money, or at least start using the money, we won't have the same representative next year, and because it's direct, it's not going to be bonded. It's out of the general fund, so it's essentially cash money. We will lose $1.64 million next year if we don't start spending it. So it's essential that we take advantage of the opportunity we were given and try and make it happen. So that's why we're moving this forward here.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
When we begin the demolition part of it, will the city of Crowley be totally doing the work?
No, ma'am. My plans would be that we reach out and find someone who wants to reclaim the wood in that building.
Okay.
Although the building does not qualify as a historic building anymore, there are historic timber. There is historic timber in that building. And I think there is gonna be, I don't wanna say a line of people, but I think there'll be interest in actually reclaiming the wood from that building.
Definitely, so with the cost of lumber nowadays?
Yes, ma'am. I would also like the opportunity to maybe save some of the large timber, a few pieces of it maybe, and actually incorporate that into the new structure of the pavilion as part of that structure, so.
Is there an estimation about the time it'll take to bring it down and the cost other than people coming and taking it down?
Yeah, I do not have any estimation of that at this time. I'm hopeful that someone will come in and take it away and maybe write us a check for it. But at minimum, that we don't have to write a check for it. So,
All right.
I think it's worth enough to someone who reclaims wood that we'll have an opportunity to do something with it. But there's a lot of different opportunities and opinions, and I definitely want to hear it from any of you all. I want your input on how to move forward. I say how to move forward with it, but any kind of designs or plans and things that you think may benefit. And of course, the public, if anyone in the public has any opinions or whatnot, this is not my pavilion. This is something that a plan and I guess an idea that started before me. I'm just honored that I'm able to help push it forward. I did spend quite a bit of time in Baton Rouge this last session begging, and I'll tell you that the city of Crowley over multiple projects has been awarded just over $3 million, all cash money, which means we don't have any matching funds to present to the other stuff. Fire department's getting money, police department's getting money, city court is getting money, city hall is getting money, Rice Theater is getting money, and of course the pavilion. So a couple of these things I actually begged for in Baton Rouge, but of course some of it the police chief asked for, the fire chief asked for, the judge asked for. I asked for the Rice Theater, and then I asked for some help with the pavilion. And the pavilion, when session started this year, was in P5, which is priority 5. And just a quick explanation, that's priority of hopes and dreams, basically. It's just on the list, so it's just a wasted ink on a piece of paper. And so, Tom's mentioned it in my ear, it's P1, but no, Tom, it is not P1. It is actually direct, as in cash. It is coming out of the general fund, and it is not having to be bonded. It's some of that, I guess you would call personal projects of some of our legislators.
It's called a pet peeve. We call it pet peeve.
Representative Stefanski worked very hard for us, and other cities in the parish, but he worked very hard for us also. So you see him, thank him for that stuff.
And thank you as well, Mayor, for submitting
Yes,
the
sir.
effort.
Yes, sir. So I'll definitely need everyone's help.
Absolutely, and having the faith and the trust to go forward, even though it looked like a no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it was great.
Yeah. All right, any more discussion?
Yeah, if I remember, when we first brought that to table, Tom, that's not enough?
Yeah, no, easy.
Okay, Tom, you remember when we first started talking about that pavilion? If I'm not mistaken, I think Jimbo was the one that bought the plans, if I'm not mistaken. But I know we want to mimic off of something like what Grant had.
There is a conceptual drawing what Sam is referring to are the conceptual drawings of the plans for that site, which is on the east side
Right.
of the parkland. That was a conceptual plan, it looks very much similar to the plans for the rainfall
Right.
festival.
Yeah, because that's, one of the questions was, instead of paying all this money for this, that, and the other design, just mimic all of what they have.
Yeah, well, we have to have an architect to do
Yeah,
that.
no, I'm just saying, you know, I mean,
Yeah,
as
you
far
gotta do
as,
the foundation, you gotta, there's a whole number of things that have to be complied with in order to utilize those capital outlay funds. And one of them is architectural planning and design has to go into it to make sure that the building supports. The other thing is that there are different things that I think the mayor has voiced an idea about saving some of this timber, incorporating that into the structure as part of the structural significance of as a historical item. And there may be some other comments that people want to do that, you know, you don't want to look exactly like rain, obviously. It's a similar concept.
right.
Yes. All right, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Engineers report, Mr. Tim had to leave, he's got a Lions Club meeting. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Offered by Alderman Coor, second by Alderwoman Marks, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.
But no, you said after you get well, that's the other problem, that's being right, we're not engineers, so why are we even going around? You should look around.
I'm gonna try working on it. Now, if you're interested in
Matter of fact, I'll probably give you a call Friday.
Always check in with you, you good?
I'm hanging.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Could we change, we didn't change.
They know it's for the city.